Hey everyone, welcome back to Torment, Tides of Numenera. We are in the Caravanserai, although honestly, we're probably going to be leaving it almost immediately. Let's see, we have a fair number of quests. I think I'm going to go and try to deal with this airship thief one, because we need to go and talk to Eridas. Who, well, if for no other reason, he was a pretty interesting character to begin with. I believe we found him in Cliff's Edge. I'm not in a hurry to leave here, but we're going to need to work with Master Renio here. He's the airship captain, and one of his airships was stolen, and we found upon the interesting character who stole it. He didn't seem to, if you take him at face value, he didn't seem to steal it for any nefarious reasons, but because he's kind of
learning begets doing.
I don't know.
Or is it the other way?
He's either
Fine.
he is either the perfect action hero, in which case he stole the airship because he had to, or there's something a little wrong with him, and I suspect it's probably a little bit of both. But yeah. So we're gonna go find him and convince him he needs to go to Master Renio and own up to the fact that he stole the ship.
Let's go.
Let's see if I remember correctly. That guy's hilarious.
Consider it done.
He keeps yelling stuff like discretion and secrecy. As if somebody who's shouting everything like that you'd be able to trust to be secret. And did I ever talk to this person? Let's check real quick. Medelia Glittering. Hello, she pauses her greeting, eyes taking in the composition of your party, and especially Makina. In an instant, she turns towards you and smiles. Friends, which of my treasures has called you today? Well, let me see what you have for sale. Okay, spray flash, fleet foot, blah blah blah. Looks like mostly healing stuff. Psychic detonation, a lucrotic bladder. Heals 13 points of health on all allies in range of a target point. It's kind of cool, but not yet. Let's see, what's this? +1 training and stealth. Actually, I think we already looked at all this. +1 training on lore machinery, +1 level and lore natural. +2 damage on esoteric attacks, +1 negative effects. -1 level on persuasion. That's kind of expensive too. Yeah, so
You and me.
after the last episode, where we finally had some combat, I realized I'm really not that good at combat.
I'll keep you safe.
I was planning to hide.
Honestly, I was hoping to hide with you.
Yeah, these guys are hilarious. I was, shoot, what was I saying? I was a little bit disappointed in my ability to do damage, so I will probably be, the next time we level up, I will be upping this infused weapon ability, which gives me a little bit extra damage, and I'm going to be looking out for a better weapon than this buzzer that I currently have. Let's see, because these two already have better weapons. Oh, and Allegern apparently has leveled up, so let's level him up. Let's see. I'm kind of a fan of this extra edge. He did okay in combat, but let's see. Increased stat pools, improved ability, increased edge, extra effort. Let's go ahead and buff his might up a little bit. Okay, that was not exactly a thrilling combat, or a thrilling upgrade, but oh look, they've got a rested buff. That's kind of cool. Anyway, we're going to go talk to Eratus here and convince him he's got to own up for crashing the airship right here. Greetings, are you ready to travel together yet? Have amazing adventures? Seriously, what is that glow surrounding you? What glow? Okay, the owner of that airship wants to have a word with you. That's strange, he says, sweeping a lock of blonde hair out of his eyes. I already talked to him once. I was explaining to him how I needed to borrow an airship. He said no, so I waited until he wasn't looking and borrowed it anyway. He trails off, his golden glow diminishing slightly. Troubling thought wrestles its way onto his face. He's not angry, is he? He is very angry with you. You should talk to him. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be the most persuasive, but let's check our companions. Hey, she's actually pretty persuasive, but no, I'm more persuasive. Let's see. Yeah, I get plus 20%, plus 15% because I'm trained. Yeah, so let's go ahead and buff that up 1 point. Yep. Oh, he says, staring at the ground. His glow fades further. If you think it's the right thing to do. He blinks and a wide smile spreads over his face. His aura flares like a star. Yes, it is the right thing to do, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to right this wrong. He strides off towards the caravanserai, whistling cheerfully. Eratus' opinion of you has approved.
I'll remember that.
He is going to be so grateful when I apologize. I think that's very unlikely, but
I'm going.
at least he, man. Okay, so here we have a lynch mob that is going to come over here and deal with this rogue Steeches here. I tried to convince the other Steeches to help him out, but they said no, so
Done.
let's see what I can do just convincing this guy here. Hey there. He smiles as you approach him again. Welcome back, hero. Have you spotted the Steeches yet? Let's see. Did he say that he captured it and left it in a... Wait. Okay. I'm not remembering all this. What is this quest? It's not hidden enemy. Which one is it? Is it hidden enemy? Yeah, it is. Okay. I found the Steeches behind the fifth eye amidst heaps of garbage. His fate is now in my hands. I asked Chakekt, one of the Steeches in the underbelly, to rescue it, but he refused. Instead, it asked me to kill him, because the creature will never be able to fend for itself. If I do this, Chakekt may even give me a reward. The Steeches seems to be harmless. Its chitin is thin and soft, its claws are small and deformed. According to the Steeches, Lord Vunken found it in a tunnel and brought it to Cliff's Edge. This suggests that Vunken himself is responsible for the creature's presence in the district. Okay, so he did actually... Okay, well, let's call him on it in front of all these people. I spoke to the Steeches. It said you captured it and left it in Cliff's Edge. Preposterous! It's lying to you. Why would I do such a thing? And if you spoke to the creature, does that mean you know where it is? Well, of course I know where it is. I'm starting to think you brought the Steeches to Cliff's Edge to give the people an enemy to hate. What proof do you have? The word of a Steeches? Do you think anyone will listen to it, even if they could understand it? Instead of discussing this, why don't you tell me where it was when you spoke to it? I found the Steeches, but it's harmless. It has deformed claws it can't dig. We should let it go. He raises an eyebrow. Harmless? I'll be the judge of that. Where is it? You notice that Lord Vunkin doesn't seem very surprised to learn of the Stygis' deformity. It's as if he already knew. I'm not telling you where it is, you'll kill it. What kind of monster do you think I am? I merely want to see justice done. Sorry, I don't trust your sense of justice. Then get out of here before I tell these good people whose side you're on, traitor. You make me sick. Oh, well, that didn't work out very well. Huh. Okay, well. Okay, so we helped on one quest and we've hit a dead end on another quest. So let's go to a new area and find new quests. Not exactly sure what else we could have done there. We went and talked to the Stygis about taking him back and they said no. Tried to out him in front of the people and that didn't work. Okay, well, let's see what this area looks like. So this is, I believe this is the government. No, we're back in Circus Minor. I meant to go to Government Square, which is back over here. There's nothing. Wait, I did want to try one thing. Rin here, the little girl that's following us. I was kind of thinking,
or is it the other way?
I want to go and talk to these folks because they've got the little boy that's running around. As you return, Paja and Kellinor's tense, but do not look away from Jerem's adventures. Jerem told me about the door he went through to get here. What's going on? Had to pry, didn't you? Kellinor growls. Calm down, Kel. Paja putting her hand on his chest. Stranger, can we convince you to leave this alone, please, for the sake of the family? I just want to know what's going on. I won't tell anyone. She bites her lip and searches your eyes. Kellinor's hand slides over her shoulder to cup the back of her neck. Maybe you're true to your word, and maybe you're not. The more we argue, the more likely Jerem will overhear. Jerem got here through the House of Empty Time. He comes from sages like us, only centuries in the past. That's why his speech is different, why he remembers places that aren't here anymore. She jabs her chest with a callous finger. Keep this to yourself. We'll tell him ourselves when we find a way of letting a child know that everyone he knows and loves is long dead in dust. Yeah, I promise I won't tell him. Kellinor nods at you and Paja sighs, relieved. Thank you for understanding. Tell me more about the House of Empty Time. We don't know any more than what we told you. Find the house's keeper and ask her. Her name was Malcolm Perry, keeper of the House of Empty Time. You might find her in Government Square. Thank you, Kel. I couldn't hold on to a name if it was buried in a bag of shins. Anyway, the very moment we decided to adopt, she was knocking on our door. We were nervous, but you can't argue with the results. Huh. Okay, so as far as I can tell, and if I can remember the story, let's see. Yeah, I don't think we actually had a quest. So these two really wanted a child, but they couldn't have one. So they go and they talk to this lady. And Jerem here comes from a time when there's like starvation and things are really bad. And his parents go and push him in the portal, which sends him forward in time to a place where people will be able to take better care of him. I'll be honest, I'm halfway thinking we could go talk to him and see if they could take care of Ren too. The slaver here was looking for Ren. I'm halfway thinking about talking to the slaver just to get more information about her. But I don't want to start a fight right now, and I don't necessarily want to freak her out.
You and me.
So I don't know if this is the right thing to do. I guess it can't hurt to talk to her. Ugh. 3 guards. I mean, we are all healed up. Let's see what she has to say. Yeah. Ren grabs your wrist and stops walking. She's trembling, staring at Tol Magur, standing atop the platform. It's her. Don't take me up there. Don't make me go back to her.
Don't make me go back to her.
No, she said that herself. What did she do to you? She's a what's the word? She steals people. Her tone is low and she keeps herself partially hidden behind you. It's clear she doesn't want to attract attention. She found me, said I was her property. Those thugs who were looking for me, she sent them. But I won't go back. I'm never going back. You won't let me have her, right? Don't worry. I'll figure out some way to solve this amicably. Alright, she seems cautious but trusting. Okay, so she's okay. This is gonna freak her out, but she trusts me to deal with this, right? So... Ah, there's my little lost bird. Glad you found her. Now just send her on over here and we'll count this job done. I don't want to go, she whispers. We need to talk about this, Toll. No, we don't. Just give me the girl and... She puts her hand to her face. Fine, fine. I didn't want to tell you this, but damn it. Here's my dirty secret, and if you tell anyone, I'll burn your flesh and scatter your bones. I'm a cast-off like you. Oh. You want to know why I want the girl? It's because she helps me control the tides in me. She keeps them from slipping out into the world. Without Ren, everyone around me gets hurt or even killed. If I use an adult for this, they die. So here's the deal. Give me the kid. I'll teach you how to control your tides better. Don't, and, well, let's not get into don't, eh? She holds her hand out to Ren. No deal. We have to settle this some other way. No, the time for talk is over. Whoa. She stares down at you, and you feel a sudden swirling in your psyche, a cacophony of dueling emotions. She's doing something with the tides, filling you with sickness and despair, the overwhelming compulsion to lie down and sob. She stops, a grim smile on her face. You want an example of what cast-offs can do? You want to know why I want the girl? She stops me from doing that. Now give her to me. Did you just use the tides on me? Is that what you do to Ren? Or how about this? Stop using your tides to hurt people or tell the cult of changing God that you're a cast-off. Why is that a threat? Seems like they're really helpful. Did you just use the tides on me? Is that what you do to her? Frequently. Do you have a problem with it? Took 3 damage to your intellect pool. Oh, that sucks. Let's see, you said Ren keeps her powers from killing or hurting other people. How do you know it won't kill her? You should learn how to control your powers better. You don't need someone else as a sponge. Slaving Ren is destroying her life and her potential anyway. One way or another, you're killing her. How old does Ren have to be before the powers kill her? She's pretty close already, isn't she? Yeah, enslaving Ren and... Why do I assume that she cares about this? How old does Ren have to be before your powers kill her? She's pretty close already, isn't she? She shrugs, but she avoids your eyes. I don't know. What I do know is that if I don't use her, others will get hurt. So how can you justify keeping her in your custody? Release your claim. Yeah, let's go ahead and make sure that we pass that one. She grits her teeth. Fine, you've convinced me. You can keep her. But you treat her right, you hear? If I get even a hint that you made Ren unhappy, I'll track you across the ninth world. For a slaver, she seems to care an awful lot what happens to her. She concentrates a moment. The miasma that filled your mind lifts. Ren's opinion of you has improved. You know what? I'll even live up to my part of the bargain. I'm going to teach you about your tides, because it'll help you keep Ren safe. You ready for this? Okay. You know I hate all of this cast-off skist, yeah? So the changing God, he made us. Maybe not on purpose. Maybe we're just an accident. But he made us. He uses the tides to transfer his mind. You felt them, I'm sure. Surges of power, emotion, whatever. That's the tides, and they're pushing around inside you. You focus them into something, you can make a weapon out of them. Manifests differently for each of us. Most of us don't think about it, but I figure use every tool at your disposal. Close your eyes, feel that coiling power in you. That's the tides. Now feel this. I'm going to push a little power at you, try to fight it off. With your eyes closed, you can see the energy emanating from her, a dark and angry spike of red-hued power that drifts towards you. Instinctively, you raise your hands to bat it away, and she snorts. With your mind, use your tides. As the tidal dagger drifts closer to you, feel something inside you uncoiling, a vast and restless power whose depths you can barely comprehend. It's reminiscent of the energy you used to blast the sorrow fragments from your mind, but now you control it, and you breathe out, pushing her away. That's it. That's it. Practice that. We're done. Skill level and title affinity has been increased by 1. Oh, cool. Now that I know you're Castoff, tell me a little more. It's not a core of my identity, you know. I don't walk around thinking, oh, I'm a Castoff. Let me think about my place in the world. I'm my own person, got it? But ask your questions. What do you know about Makina? For the name, I know she trades with a bad crowd. Never met her. Don't know where she lives or who she knows. Never hope to either. Makina. Bad day for wishes, I guess, but if it's any consolation, can't say I'm tremendously impressed by you either. What's this, some sort of Castoff reunion? I told you I'm not interested in whatever the rest of you do. Leave me alone. Okay. What is it you hope to accomplish with your life? Why become a slaver when you're effectively immortal? Why? Because it was easy to fall into the life. Because I was challenged to get good at it. Because I don't particularly care what others think of me. She rakes her hair back. This tattoo, it doesn't define me. I'm not the man who made me. I owe him nothing. I owe you nothing. I owe the world nothing. It's my life, and these are my choices. Do you think you could do some good for people? What makes you think I'm not? Look, you're approaching this all wrong. You see slaves and you think mistreatment. I see criminals and burdens. Sure, they're not going to find happier lives right away, but once they finish their service, they get to live. Most of them anyway, so kiss my arse. This is good for them. Self-reflection. Man, I'm getting really preachy at this point. Okay, self-reflection is the key to a successful life. For however you define success may be, I'm perfectly happy doing what I do. I don't need to be remembered. She spits. If you don't have any other epiphanies you want to share with me, I've got some important none of your business to attend to. It seems fair to me. Actually, wait, no, I should ask her about the sorrow. You're welcome to stay with me, Ren. You do not need to have this vagabond life. I made my choice. Can't blame me for trying. Best of luck to you. I want to... What about the sorrow? The what? Oh, you mean that monster that looks like the knight mated with some year-old corpses? I don't. Nothing that would be helpful anyway. I felt it a while back, though. Felt like it glanced my way. Felt like it told me not yet. But no, I can't help you with that. Okay. Okay.
Fine.
Well, that was helpful. Ended up spending like almost all my intellect points there, but
I'm going.
Okay, so let's see. Hang on. Prada doesn't happen to have any better weapons, do you? I didn't think she had weapons, but she's got one-shots. Okay, let's believe there's a weapons dealer up here.
Let's do it.
Arms merchant. Show me what you have for sale. Has one-handed weapons. Great sword. Broadsword. 3 physical. Looks like I could get Aligarn a better weapon, but I don't think there's going to be anything here for me. Actually. So 4 damage plus 2 damage per effort applied. What's this thing? 5 damage plus 3 damage per effort applied. How about that? Yeah, let's go ahead and that's pretty cheap. So we'll go ahead and buy this. Go ahead and sell that.
Ready to
Up
test
there.
this out.
Okay. Well,
Consider it done.
didn't help me any, but okay. Off to Government Square. Somebody just psst at me. Is that Ren?
I'm sorry about last time. I know we didn't finish our conversation. I offer apologies for my rudeness.
She is the most polite little girl ever. Yes, it's just been, I'm not used to talking to anyone except all about these things. It's harder than I thought it would be, but yes, let's talk. How are you holding up? Before I met you, I asked All if he could bring someone to help me. I know, it's embarrassing. He's not the right sort of god for that, but then you came and you're even better than anything a god would bring me. Let's talk about you. Alright, what do you want to know? Where are you from again? It's called Baranth. Yes, Baranth. That's where my parents are. Think your parents might be looking for you? She looks thunderstruck, as though the thought had never occurred to her before. She finally speaks, her tone is flat, almost numb, and it's clear that she's talking to herself as much as she's talking to you. They know I'm safe. They can't be here. They have to be safe at home. She brings her hands to her mouth slowly, her eyes terrified and oddly flat, almost glazed. She turns away from you, speaking something into her hands, her voice too soft to hear. She continues that for a long time, worried and muttering. You realize she has forgotten you are even there. Okay.
I must offer apologies again for my rudeness. What would you like to talk about?
She doesn't seem to have any new things to talk about, so. Okay, Government Square.
My friend, Orthfong at the Order of Truth, was looking into something for me. I'd like to stop by there. Problem is, most of the priests and I don't get along too well. They might not want to talk to me.
That's a shock. There's people that don't want to talk to Allegern because he's such a friendly guy. I don't know if they talk to you. Like I said, we don't get along, probably because I called them out on their timidity and their bowing and scraping to the slave families, but hells, maybe they've forgotten. Alright. Sure, we can help them out. Okay, so we got some mercenaries. Let's go and check out the area first. Got some sort of... Okay. Oh, Sigyn, is she the same one that we met before? Let me check. Her name's not here, so that's probably not her. I was thinking she might be the lady that asked us to help with the Stitches situation in the underbelly, but... Okay, so we got some kids. Got a building. Got some mercenaries. Looks like maybe some shops.
Or is it the other way?
Levies. Interesting looking fountain.
Let's go off.
Some more officials. A couple of nanos hanging out by a statue. Let's see. Is that Order of Truth? Ladder to the underbelly. I got some more merchants. Go to the caravanserai. Got a building there that looks like you can't go into it. Well, that looks interesting. What is this? Towering above you is an enormous archway of metal and synth. Energy pulses through the structure, spilling from thin, transparent panels and subtle shades of gold and cyan. It appears to be dormant, but very much alive. The archway emits a low and constant hum just at the edge of your hearing. Across the top, illuminated words are inscribed, "The House of Empty Time." Heavy rope-like cables connect the archway to the strange generator nearby. It's not as impressive as it looks, mutters Aligern. The real work is being done by the generator there. He points to the ancient device that's connected to the archway by a number of cables. Someone must have channeled the temporal energies to achieve some sort of purpose of their own. It's a hack job. Must have been an Aeon priest. Have you studied this archway before? Once or twice, years ago. It was long before I came to Sages. Used to hear stories about children disappearing when they walked into the arch, but I never saw it happen myself. Leave it alone. Okay. They said the folks told me there was somebody here in charge of it, but there doesn't seem to be anybody here right now. Okay, so honestly, thinking about maybe Ren should go through here.
Ready.
I mean, I know she thinks that it's my job to take care of her, but all I've done is get her into danger. Okay, so we have Order of Truth. We have Single In, Red Thicket. I wonder what that is. Council Tower. We've got some politicians here. Let's check this area out first. And Alison Perry. Actually, I think she's the one that's in charge of the gateway. Okay, so we've got some dignitaries. And who knows? Tell you what, let's go talk to these merchants over here. Single In. A tall, thin, and exquisitely dressed older man stands in the shade of an exquisitely crafted stall. The cut, color, and quality of his clothes are a symphony of harmonious coordination, where the expression of benevolent condescension he gives you would be more at home on the face of a king. Good afternoon. He peers at you, eyes widening at recognition. Why, you're the one who got these creatures to stop digging under our feet. Palai told me about it. I am Sangolin, and this is my store, Sangolin's Fittings. You are entirely welcome. How may I be of service? What do you sell here? I sell the finest city wear for discerning men and women, as well as quality armor for those traveling to less civilized locales. Also, it is our honor to have been chosen to provide the city of Sage's Cliff with the official badges worn by all properly credentialed city employees. You may trust in their trust in us. Tell me about Government Square. Of course, sir. Let me think. There's Council Tower over there, and the Order of Truth. You can't forget the Red Thicket, that walled courtyard to the edge of the square. Or are you curious about our fountain here? Tell me about Council Tower. It is ancient beyond reckoning. The tower's roots go all the way down into the forges of the underbelly, and within it sits the Council of Sage's Cliffs, the finest, fairest legislative body in the Ninth World. And I don't say that just because they are my most valued patrons. They have run the city well for centuries, and thanks to me, they look magnificent while doing it. About the Order of Truth. They are a credit to our city, wise scholars and deep thinkers, excellent customers as well. They are very particular about their robes. And the Red Thicket. The Whispering Wood, I call it. A very curious and ancient place. You can speak as loudly as you like in there, but none but you and your partner can hear you. A great place for diplomacy. And the fountain. One of the stranger and most poignant attractions in the square. The creatures in it are called Jallies, and they chatter in 1,000 dead tongues. The priests say that a new Jalli is born each time an old language dies. You can listen to them for a month and never hear the same language twice or understand a single one. And how about the House of Empty Time? The archway near the Order of Truth? The most peculiar thing. Seems to be a way of transporting children somewhere. I've seen some go in and others come out, and I don't know where they go or where they come from. Okay, how about something else? Tell me about the people in the district. Not one to gossip, sir, but if you insist, who do you want to know about? Let me ask about something else. What do you have to sell? Okay, so we got some armor here. Abatral leather jerkin, which I already have. Cobbled brigandine, which is medium armor. Plate armor, micro mesh. Well, that's better than what I'm wearing. And it's fairly cheap. Actually, is all this only... Yeah, all this is only wearable by me. Grounding cloak. And more shields. A call shield. Oh, call shield is what I have. Yeah, why not? Let's go ahead and get this. Micromesh is a net of finely woven metal fitted together with extraordinary precision and shaped into a suit that protects the wearer's entire body. The insignificant weight of the armor, as well as the flexibility of the synthetic material, means that it barely inhibits movement. It is highly prized by nanos and jacks. So, we'll go ahead and wear that. Micromesh. And can we sell this? Yeah. Okay. Well, so I've gotten my armor better, and I've gotten Alagran's weapon better, but haven't actually
All right, Rin, you can do this.
improved my combat ability. So we got some petitioners and some levies and council clerk. Dignitary, glaive, mercenaries. Yeah, let's actually, let's take a look at this fountain first. Fountain is constructed of material that seems halfway between wood and stone. Doesn't contain water as it might be expected. Instead, it's filled with swarming, tiny fish-like creatures that leap and cavort in a wriggling mass, chattering to each other in what sounds like 1,000 languages. Catch one of the creatures. I'm not going to spend any points on this. Oh, and I succeeded. Look at that. You definitely snatch a single fish in the glistening, tumbling flood. Bubbling mass of remaining creatures squawk together in nonsensical outrage. Gained a jolly. Let's know what the creatures are saying. What does the thing do? No. No idea. You fold your arms, listening intently to the fish jabber at each other. It sounds like a cloud of nonsense syllables mashed into baby speak. Few oft-repeated sounds tug at your memory until something unravels. You stand before a rusty intelligence terminal, surrounded by crooked ruins, laying unfamiliar hands across the cracked glass. You speak words in all the languages you know. This takes some time. The terminal awakens at the sound of the ancient guttural greeting. You recognize it immediately as one of the words. The fish-like creatures are babbling cheerfully at each other. Okay. So I collected one of these things. I'm not entirely sure what it's going to be good for. It never requires food or other nourishment, and it gibbers constantly in an indecipherable language. Okay. Let's go ahead and talk to... Where did I see her? She was right here, right? The lady who is in charge of the... Oh, there she is. Alison Perry. The woman seems to be absorbed by what she is doing. Her blue eyes narrowed in concentration. You realize she's the nicest looking person you've ever seen in a while and feel almost compelled to approach her. She shakes out the golden cloth she's examining and holds it up to the light. Such beautiful colors. It would look lovely on you. In fact, she leans down for a moment and looks up at you, up and down pensively. She nods once to herself as if pleased. As I thought, no touch of miserly nature in you. She offers you a sweet, shy smile. We're going to get along just fine. And you, she turns to Ren, crouching down so they're on the same level. Wait, what's this? She reaches behind Ren's ear. When Ren turns to look at what she's doing, Alison taps her lightly on the nose. Ren laughs. Alison smiles. Such a gem, yours? She glances up at you. Her expression softens at the look on your face. She stands and takes your hands in hers. You're a good person, she says simply, looking into your eyes as if willing you to believe it. Then she lets go. Who are you? My name is Alison Perry. You can call me Alison if you like. I'm a chirurgeon, but I mostly work with children. You know, healing scraped knees and the occasional broken bone. We're lucky here in Sages that it's rarely anything more serious. What are you doing? Waiting for an appointment, she says with a tentative smile. Heard you're the keeper of the House of Empty Time. Ah, She glances at Ren, then bows her head for some moments before meeting your gaze again. What do you want to know? How does it work? A child enters the gate and emerges in another time to find a new family waiting for them. Willing parents register with the keeper in their own time period, and after rigorous questioning have their names added to the gate itself. After that, who knows? Children have loving families, and the families have children to love. Why is it a secret? Because it's not the strongest system in the world. No one knows how many trips the old thing can stand, so we only use it for those who really have nowhere to go. And if everyone knew about it, some would treat it the same way they do other orphanages. We'd find babies dumped in boxes, small children left crying with nothing but the clothes on their back. She realizes Ren is watching her in growing horror and makes the obvious effort to stop herself. She breathes deeply and smiles at Ren, though you can see her hands are shaking slightly with effort of controlling her anger. So we keep the gate for children who really need it. Do you understand? You mean orphans, Ren says. She watches the way you and Allison are looking at her. Good thing I'm not one, then. Allison smiles but says nothing. Could I adopt a child? Yeah, because that's what we need is more children. Why are you in charge of it? Because I walk through it. She smiles at your reaction. So yes, I was an orphan, and yes, I'm from another time, one much earlier than the present. As a child, I had the unique pleasure of being able to read history books and imagine that my real parents were the heroes of ages past. And before you ask, my parents in this time are dead, but we spent many happy years together, and I will always be thankful for the life they gave me. As for the gate itself, when I'm dead, or hopefully before, it will choose a new guardian from those who have passed through it, and I'll have someone to keep me company through the end of my days. Not a bad bargain, all told. I think Ren would be better off with a family of her own, but let's, you know what? No, I think she would. I think Ren would be better off with a family of her own. What? She glances at you, startled and hurt. I do have a family. I just... Do you have a family? Why haven't they come for you? Because I'm lost. My home is a long way from here, but it is my home. What if we can't find them? You don't want to go where I'm going. This is better for you, trust me. But I don't want. She looks uncertainly between you and Allison. How can this be best? Allison nods and crouches down in front of Ren, taking this girl's small hands in her own. She speaks a low, urgent whisper, of which you can only catch up single syllables. She yanks her hands out of Allison's. No, I have a family. I don't need this. She runs over to you, throwing her arms around your waist and sobbing into your shirt. Between her muffled cries, you manage to catch a single repeated sentence. I don't want to go. Allison gives the girl a sweet smile. What are your parents' names, child? Do you remember? Of course I remember. Their names are... She tries to remember. Horror creeps over to her face. Her lips tremble. I don't know. Why don't I know? Maybe you really have forgotten. Allison looks at you. Her face is carefully neutral. This is not something you should put a child through twice, she says calmly, though you sense an undercurrent to her words. You two must decide. Either Ren goes through today or she resigns herself to whatever fate this world holds for her. I won't be party to the debate a second time. Choose. I think you should go. Ren steps back, mouth agape. I thought I knew you. Her face hardens, her mouth forms into a frown. I misjudged you. Maybe this is best then. She turns her back on you and faces Allison. Fine, I'm ready. All right. If you'll both follow me, we can begin. Man, I hope I'm doing the right thing here. The gate flickers to life, accompanied by a droning buzz. Ren stands next to it, small and pale. She makes eye contact and offers a small smile.
Thank you.
Thank you. I guess this is
farewell.
She shakes back her hair from her face and leaves without another word, stepping through the gate and disappearing in a blinding flash of light. For several moments, all you can hear is the tick of cooling metal as the gate slides back into dormancy. Eventually, Ren's afterimage disappears from your eyes. Maybe it's for the best, Allegrin says. For us, maybe. For her, well, we'll see. Or won't, I guess. Try showing some compassion next time. If not for her, then for your own well-being. How was I not showing compassion? Hello, I'm sure Ren is doing much better with people who appreciate her presence. It's so important for for children to feel loved. But none of us are perfect. We do the best with what we have. Man, everybody's being all judgy McJudders now. I mean, I'm traveling with a mercenary and an assassin.
Yes.
We're getting ready to head off to a much unsafer place than this. And everybody's being all, oh, you should continue taking this little girl with you. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's just... Maybe in the game she turns out to be more than she appears, and she I don't know. I don't know what her story is, but every time I tried to talk to her, it didn't seem to go anywhere, and it seems like dragging her into danger wasn't going to help either her or us. So I don't know if that was the right decision, but it's the decision we made. So, and on that note, I think this is going to be the end of the episode. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.